How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Lead Therapy, and thank you so very much for taking time for tuning in to my video. Most of you are aware about the guy who had a visit from 2 ATF agents and a Delaware trooper wanting to see his firearms and check the serial numbers to make sure he still had the 7 firearms that he purchased this year. And their reason was to see if he had done a straw purchase on those firearms. And now that that story and video has gone around quite a bit, the ATF has issued conflicting responses. ATF severely underworked. Public information officers are flustered. A story that broke Monday about a surprise firearms inspection at a Delaware man's home has gone viral, exposing the agent's misdeeds and questionable tactics. Now ATF public information officers are answering questions from the national media and an irate Montana congressman. Before, the public information officers didn't even answer their phones. The story chronicled the plight of a law-abiding Delaware man who asked that his name not be published. 2 ATF agents and a Delaware State Trooper showed up on his front porch unannounced, wearing tactical vests, t-shirts, and jeans. They pleaded with the homeowner to show them several of his firearms. One of the agents told the man they were investigating whether he had committed a straw purchase, since he had bought 7 firearms since January. If they were so worried about this guy, and the Ring doorbell video that I'm going to show you in just a bit is dated July 12th, why did they wait 7 months to come visit him? If they could just see his guns, they said they would leave immediately and not have to return. Oh, and by the way, they did not have a search warrant. Just a heads up, people, if this ever happens to you, and if you ask them if they have a search warrant and they say no, tell them to kick rocks and get off your property.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm doing is verifying that, verifying that you have it. You got 2 different purchases.
Okay.
If you have them, I'm out of here. That's how quick it is. Yeah. You have them with you by any chance? Are they? If you can unload them and bring them out, or you can go out to your foyer here, check them out, by serial number, and we're out of here.
That's it?
Yep.
That's it. It'll take 5 seconds.
The reason we're out here is we're obviously gun violence has been an uptick, so we want to make sure we've been having a lot of issues with straw purchases. So one of the things indicators that we get is somebody makes like a large gun purchase, and then a lot of times we've been there and like, oh, those guns got taken. We're like,
so the idea is when you purchase more than 2 guns at a time, it generates a multiple sale report. And it comes to us and we have to check them out. Okay. That's all that is. You did nothing wrong. Did absolutely zero. I noticed that you were stopped in Philly though, right, with one of your guns?
To be clear, no one from the ATF commented about the story prior to the publication. Neither the resident agent in charge of the ATF's Wilmington, Delaware field office, nor Amanda Hills, the public information officer for the ATF's Baltimore field division, or anyone at the ATF headquarters in Washington, D.C. Things changed Tuesday when the story was published. Hills issued a quick statement. Good afternoon, Lee. Thank you for reaching out, and I appreciate your patience with my reply. ATF does not release the process in which it conducts investigations. I hope you have a great day. Hell of an explanation, isn't it? Both the Washington Times and the Daily Caller began asking ATF questions about the incident. The ATF sent them similar statements. The ATF defended itself in a statement to the Washington Times saying the agent's actions were entirely appropriate. We are unable to comment on the details of any ongoing investigation. However, interviews are an entirely appropriate part of the investigative process for any law enforcement agency, the Washington Times reported. Here is the response the Daily Caller received, which is pretty much the same thing. A spokesman for the ATF said they were unable to comment on the details of ongoing investigations. However, interviews are an entirely appropriate part of the investigative process for any law enforcement agency. Wednesday night, Amanda Mills sent another statement describing the process ATF uses to conduct investigations, which she had said was previously a secret. The Delaware State Police partners with the ATF via a task force model to help combat gun violence in our state by investigating potential illegal gun purchases made by individuals on behalf of others who are prohibited from purchasing or possessing firearms, also known as straw purchases. At times, the leads to interviews conducted by the task force officers, which are non-custodial, voluntary interviews done in full compliance with all applicable local, state, and federal laws. ATF and DSP remain committed in our mission to reduce violent crime and help make communities safer. Now, there could be a possible congressional inquiry. The story caught attention to at least one congressman. According to the Washington Times, Montana Republican Representative Matt Rosendale was not pleased, and he wants answers. The ATF must answer questions on why they decided to conduct an illegal search, especially since the homeowner has done nothing wrong. These actions by the federal government are unsettling, and they have no business going door to door to see who owns firearms. I fear that there will be more illegal inspections to come as the left continues its assault on our Second Amendment rights. Congress should investigate this immediately. When he learned about the possible congressional inquiry, the anonymous homeowner only said, "Hell yes." So here are the takeaways. ATF claims that these task force interviews are voluntarily is laughable. Most folks are not attorneys, so when 3 armed men wearing tactical vests show up on your front porch unannounced, they don't realize that they can tell them to leave and slam the door. The ATF is using the public's legal naivety to their advantage. In fact, they're counting on it. This is not law enforcement. It's intimidation. The Delaware homeowner had done nothing wrong. He had the financial means to purchase a few firearms, which is a constitutional right guaranteed in the Second Amendment. So he bought a couple of guns. This is not a crime, at least not yet. The ATF declined the comment about the Delaware encounter because it was an ongoing investigation is ludicrous. What federal crime did the homeowner commit? Is there a grand jury investigating his lawful firearm purchases? Does he need a lawyer? If the agents had actual probable cause he committed a crime, they would have brought a search warrant rather than a page from an illegal gun registry. It should come as no surprise that this encounter just came a few days after ATF's new director, Steve Dettelbach, was sworn in. Dettelbach is notoriously anti-gun when he ran unsuccessfully for Ohio Attorney General in 2018. He was endorsed by Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Everytown for gun safety. During his campaign for AG, Dettelbach called for restating the failed federal assault weapons ban and for universal background checks. These warrantless home intrusions make it crystal clear where the new director is taking the agency under Dettelbach. The ATF is ready, willing, and able to serve on the front lines of Joe Biden's war on our guns. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the story in the comment section down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, please take time to like, share, and subscribe and hit those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.